Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. This isn't a great angle, so I'm going to do that. Try to get all the cards. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, I hope you stick around to hear the reading. I hope that you take some encouragement and joy out of the reading, because that's what I like to infuse in my readings. I hope that they help in some way, and if that is the case, I hope that you like the video and possibly subscribe. Hopefully subscribe, become a part of the channel and the growth of the channel. I ask that you hit the like button, show your appreciation if the reading resonates and you like the reading. Leave positive comments in the comment section, and don't forget to share. It helps circulate the video. So uh, if you're not familiar with how my readings work, I do 3 readings in each video. I do a general reading, love reading, and a finance reading. They are all time stepped in the description box if you want to jump around to different readings. And yeah, try to get through everything in under 30 minutes because that is the goal for me. All right, so we're going to jump right into, enough of the introduction. We're going to jump right into, now everything's going to fit in this on this camera, but okay, we're going to try to was getting it's this is a pretty heavy reading. Actually, there's a lot of joy. As I said, I like to infuse joy into my readings, but I don't some readings I had, try a little bit harder than others. But this reading is actually positive. There are some negative aspects of the situation that is around you, or revolving around you, but at the end of the day, it is a very positive reading. So let's start off here with the fact that something did not work out. Okay, so something didn't work out. So whether it is a relationship that didn't work out, or a job that didn't work out, or a collaboration at a job that didn't work out, there's something here that didn't vibe. There's a relationship, and I'm hesitant to say that I actually don't think it's romantic, but it could be, okay? It could be. But if I'm being, this is a general reading, so I really honestly don't like to make pull out too much detail about it because it makes it very specific. But one thing that I am getting from this reading is that there could have possibly been a work situation with exes. So if you are in um, a relationship with someone, and either you met them at work, through work, and you dated, or you dated someone that you happen to now be working with for whatever reason or circumstance, you end up working, like getting a job with your ex, like you already broke up with this person, and come to find out you all are working together now. Then I am specifically getting that, right? So that could be for some people. But regardless of the specifics of the circumstance, there is I want to say, it's not partner, like association. That is the word that I want to use. An association with either one or two people where the vibe was just off. And this could be something as tame as getting a new job. And you know, when they talk about workplace culture, right? There's something here about, if this is a new job that you walked into, there's something about the culture that didn't click with you. It might literally be a clickiness, like there was a clicky vibe to the new place that you worked, where you didn't vibe with that clickiness. Like the idea of like the mean girls. And this is for everyone, just not just targeting women, but like just in general, when you're like the new person at a job, or on a project, or you just come in and you don't know people, but they all know each other. And so um, having to learn how to navigate relationships that already exist, and the environment and the culture and how people vibe and trying to mesh didn't go as planned. Okay. So nobody goes into a situation with the idea that it's not going to work, or you're not going to vibe with people, or you're not going to get along with people. But I do feel like the vibe was very off with these associations, and however those associations work. Like I said, if it's very specific where you work with an ex, or you end up getting a job with an ex, or something along those lines, or even if it's just friendships that, superficial. I'm getting very superficial friendships, and that's why I'm getting and there's another scenario that's coming into my brain that I'm going to tell you in a second, but I'm getting very superficial associations. Like, this is my associate, right? Not my best friend. Somebody that when you meet them, especially in a workplace, you go into a workplace and you have these associates, and they might invite you out, like, hey, come out with us and get a drink after work or something along those lines. But it started off very promising, but something about the vibe was off. It just didn't click. You didn't click with the people, and so this association just kind of fell apart. Another thing that I'm getting is that there was a friendship at a workplace, or some sort of project, or some sort of friend group. It could be a friend group as well. You just take it as it resonates for you. But there's an association of people, and like I said, it's very surface level. So if this is a friend group, then you might know one person really well in the friend group, but in general, a lot of people get brought into the friend group because they're friends of a friend, and you all just kind of know each other, right? And there's something about a specific relationship within the friend group that fell apart. Okay. And and there was a time, there was a moment where it caused havoc, right? So you have to understand, there is the group. So whether it's a work association, or a friend group, or an ex that you have to work with, there's something about the relationship between one or two people that, not one, it can be a relationship with one, two or three people, that cause a fracture in the group dynamic. All right, so does that make sense? So if this was a friend group, again, you have a lot of people who know each other through other friends. You might be really cool with one person, but maybe you dated somebody in the friend group, and then that went south. And although it's not necessarily a horrible breakup, because like I said, that a lot of the relationships here are very superficial, surface level, it caused like the awkwardness in the group, or people to break off and take sides, or so there was a fracture in whatever dynamic uh, existed between these people in this group, because of one specific relationship falling apart, and then causing the relationship between everyone to get a little bit fractured, people to go off on their sides and their corners, and this person telling their side of the story and that person telling their side of the story. What they say is three sides to every story: that person, your person, and then the truth, right? And so people talking behind other people's backs, and this person said that and that person said that, all over like superficial relationships here. So it did get a little bit toxic, it did get a little bit toxic. It got a little bit hectic within the friend. And this is like something that you can't escape, because if it's like your friend group, you're not about to give up your friend group because you fell out with one person in the friend group, or it was a relationship that fell apart. Or if it's work, like I said, you started off, getting to know your coworkers, but the vibe was off. Maybe somebody said something that was off colored, and you got offended by it, and you're like, oh, I don't want to hang out with that person. Or maybe you made an off comment where I'm seeing that the scenario where someone comes up to you and asks if you want to go out with the coworkers after work again, and one particular coworker made you uncomfortable with a comment or a joke or something that you felt was insensitive, rude, or offensive. Nobody else really saw it that way, but you don't feel comfortable being around that person. And then when you get invited back to go out with them, you make the statement or the comment, I don't feel comfortable being around so and so. But because this group of people have been together and you're the new person coming in, you didn't realize that just making that comment caused chaos. So that person went back and told the person you didn't want to be around that you weren't comfortable being around them. And now it makes them upset, because how dare you say they were being offensive, and they're afraid that you're going to go to HR, and then they try to get you in trouble. And now there's these little fractions of co-workers that are grouping off together and teaming up, and just turned into chaos, right? just turned into absolute chaos. And so you have come to the realization that you just don't necessarily vibe with everybody, and that is okay. So yes, there was a there was a little bit of chaos. It did get toxic. It became too much for everybody. So it's kind of like a pot that boiled over, right? Everybody's pettiness, everyone's childness, everyone's backstabbing, everyone's talking and behind each other's backs, and everyone grouping off. And it got to be at some point when you have to be around these people that you can't get away from, whether, like I said, it's a friend group or work associates. It got to be too much. And so at some point, it just dissipated. Sorry about that. I had a phone call, so I had to stop the video. So let me jump back into it. At some point, what I was saying, at some point, the tension dissipated. At some point, because it just got to be too much. Because I feel like you initiated a silent treatment. You cut people off. You literally like, you know what? I'm done with it, because it just snowballed. It went from you going out with everybody having pure intention. Something may have rubbed you the wrong way, or some vibe was off between you and maybe a couple of people, or all the people, or however it goes. But because that outside dynamic of a workplace got brought into the workplace, because that's what happens. The tension started, it snowballed, or if it was, like I said, a friend group, two people didn't vibe well, or two people got into an argument, or two people dated, broke up, or something along the lines with a couple of people that threw the dynamic off with the entire friend group. So something here, got toxic, it boiled over, and you decided that you were done with the arguing, you were done with the back and forth, you were done with the backstabbing, you were done with the taking sides, you were done with the talking behind the backs, you were done with the he said, she said, you were done with people misconstruing your words or their words, or you were done with it. It got very toxic, and you just cut people off. You cut the entire situation off. And if it was a work situation, then it got extremely awkward, because you had to be there with these people and not talk to them all day long. I'm here to tell you that the dam has broke. It is broken, and there is finally light at the end of the tunnel. The tension and the silent treatment and the alienation, because I feel like again, if this was work, or even if some friend groups here, there was like people ostracizing you or alienating you or leaving you out of the mix, or if there was specifically, if it was working, you all had to do projects together, because I'm seeing here about working together. It got very awkward and very tense, because you weren't talking to these people because of the drama that happened outside of the workplace. So there was a collaboration that just didn't mesh well, okay? At some point, like I said, it got to be too much, and everybody, was like, well, we can't continue to work like this. And so I feel that whatever the two or three people that the original sort of conflict happened with decided to squash it. So whatever happened in the past. I don't know if someone spoke up. I think someone spoke up, and they finally was like, this has gotten to be too much. Somebody finally was put on their big boy pants. Somebody literally took the high road. Literally took the high road. You got the Sun and the Knight of Swords here, and the Wheel of Fortune. So after all of this drama, after all of the emotions, after all of the negativity, after the not getting along, somebody decided to take the high road, come to the other person and say, look, we don't necessarily have to be friends, but I want to put all of this behind us so we can just move forward and get the job done. And that's really what I'm seeing here. And it literally just that conversation is like a huge weight lifted off of this very toxic environment. And all of a sudden, things go back to being professional. There's a lot of professionalism here. If it's a workplace, and if it's a friend group, things go back to being, I might not be best friend. Like, we made a mistake. Even when you have a friend group, you have people who are closer in that friend group than other people. You have best friends within the friend group, right? And there was something about, like, you may have been friends with, in the general sense, in the friend group with somebody since you guys in high school, but then you decided to, like, hey, me and you never hang out, because that person is best friends with that person in the friend group, and you're best friends with somebody else, but you two were never really all that close. You only can vibe or hang out with each other when everybody else is there. And so you decided to hang out solo, like, 'cause we were, friends since we were in high school. We've never hung out alone together. And so you decided to do it, but something goes wrong. right? And so you want the vibe back, you want the friend group back, you want the work environment back. And so somebody, like I said, takes the high road and kind of like calls the other person or just comes to them while they're at work and says, let's just put it behind us. We're never going to get to the bottom of it. We're never going to necessarily be best friends, but that's okay. We're all good hanging out with each other, or we're all good working with each other. We don't have to, there was too much pressure for us to get along or be best friends or, hang out outside of work or hang out outside of the friend group. Let's just go back to the way things were. Forget everything, put it all behind us and move forward. And that literally changes the entire environment of the situation, of the people, of the dynamic. And no, you're not going to be best friends with this person or these two people, but it's not tense anymore, and everybody is able to just move forward and forget it. So that's really what I'm picking up here for this very tense situation that involves some sort of like collaboration or not vibing or friend group. And it's like not in a petty sort of childish way. This is literally picking up the pieces of what you guys have left and literally just moving on. Like, let's just go back to the way it was, because we tried to create something. It's like trying to create a dynamic that did not exist. And there was a reason that dynamic did not exist. Let's just go back to the way it was. Like, we'll see each other at work. We'll say hi and bye. We'll be cordial. We can work together, but we don't need to hang out outside of work. We don't need to be best friends. We don't need to tell each other every detail of each other's lives. And literally the next time you see each other, I swear you feel like a weight has been lifted. It literally is a lifting of the clouds. Like, you see each other, it's professional, it's cordial, and it's none of the cattiness or backstabby like feeling that you have where I don't want to talk to that person. No, it literally gets lifted because somebody steps up and they squash it, they bury the hatchet, and then the entire work environment goes back to being able to function as a team. And the same thing with a friend group. Everybody gets to go back to functioning as a friend group. And just because we are not best friends and hang out outside of the friend group doesn't mean it doesn't mean anything. We're fine. We're good. It worked for years on top of years. We did not need to try to change the dynamic. Or like I said, if there's people dating in work or dating in a friend group, coming to an agreement that, hey, we tried it, it didn't work, but we don't need to make this a war that literally we pull everybody else into and it changes some sort of dynamic within a group. So the dynamic within a group is going back to normal, is going back to being functioning, and it's going back to putting all of the drama in the past and just moving forward. So that you can look forward to. All right, so we're going to get into, all right, yeah, so that's what I'm getting for the general spread. So I hope that helped and I hope that made sense. I am going to actually put this on pause for a second. All right, I'm going to jump right into the love portion of the reading. So bear with me while I shuffle these cards and get the love reading. Okay, so again, my love readings are for the current person that you are dealing with, okay? The current person. That means my readings are not for the past person. They're not for somebody that you have a crush on. They're not for somebody that you don't know. They are for, the only way it would be a past person if you are still dealing with the past person. So this is for a current situation. If somebody in some capacity you have some sort of romantic connection to, even if it's not a relationship, some sort of attraction or connection, you know each other, you hung out, even if it's like on an app, the current person you are dealing with, okay? So that is what we are, that is what we're focused on. Okay. I'm tempted to, I'm going to do it next video. I'm going to shut it off, and the next video I'm going to shut it off and do my speed up of the shuffling, so we don't have to go through all the shuffling. I don't know how many cards actually I want to pick out here. I'm going to keep going until I get a story that makes sense. So yeah, next time, guys, I'm definitely going to just kind of do the speed up of the shuffling. Oh, okay, I do get a story here. I do get a story. I know what's going on here. I 100% know what's going on here. Okay, so actually I think this is supposed to be here. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm just gonna give you what I got. This is how it's working out in my brain. You gotta let me work it out in my brain. Okay. Can you see? You can't really see these cards. I don't know why. Okay. So you are dealing with someone you have unfinished business with. So I would honestly say this is a past person. So past person in the sense that you had some sort of connection with this person in the past. How serious it is just depends on your particular situation. You, for whatever reason, the relationship didn't work out, but they're still in your energy and you're still dealing with this person. But I feel like the relationship is on good terms. You guys aren't like at each other's throat, hating each other. It's a lot of unfinished business in this relationship. If you are thinking to yourself, could this be the one? Am I making it up in my head? You're not making it up in your head, but you are mirroring this person. And I hate when people say that because, like, what does that mean? Well, what it means is you're very insecure about this person in this relationship, which is a normal place to be if you aren't in a solid, committed relationship that you feel secure in. And you're not with this person because it's unfinished business, which means this is something that's from the past that you guys are kind of tepid with, right? You're stepping your toe. It's like your baby toe or your big toe. You're kind of constant, and the person is doing the same thing. Like, oh, I'll call them this week, or oh, I'll text them this week and see how they respond. You guys might text a little bit, and then like 2 or 3 days later, you might like call you and you pick up the phone and you talk for hey, how you doing? It's very casual and it's very surface level, but you guys are you're questioning whether this could be something more, and that person is also questioning whether it could be something more. So you guys are doing the same thing with each other, and I don't know why it's so much insecurity about this relationship. Now there's a little clue of why it might be so much insecurity about this relationship, because you do have the unchanged card, and unchanged in this scenario could be a multitude of things. If you were dealing with somebody who couldn't settle down in the past, maybe they cheated in the past, maybe you guys were just very different and your personalities clash. Maybe this person was very stubborn in the past. Whatever it was that caused the break of the relationship, you are completely and 100% paranoid that this person has not changed. Now, when they show back up in your life, and they're very apologetic, and that is also what gives the vibe of the tepidness of being afraid or being cautious about getting back into a relationship. This person is cautious and you're cautious. So whatever happened in the past, it has you second guessing and wondering if this is something you should revisit, but they're also thinking the same thing, right? And I'm here to tell you that for whatever reason, I think you both are being I'm not gonna say I think you're being overly paranoid, because I don't know exactly what happened in the past because I haven't done a past spread. But what's coming up in the cards is that it is all in your head. I think if you were to move forward and that person were to move forward, you would get the picture here. This picture of this man and this woman hugging with flowers is a connection that just feels right outside all of the paranoia about all of the things that could go wrong again. You are having signs of synchronicities. This person is pretending that they're happy. This person is not happy without you. Whoever is the person that reaches out to the other person, who reaches out, right? So if it's the masculine energy in the situation and they called you first or text you first, or they're the ones kind of pursuing the relationship again, they're pretending like they're happy and they know that they're not happy without you. And I say that because if we go over to the other cards, there is a potential proposal on the table. This person is thinking very heavily about proposing to you, and that might seem crazy to you because you two aren't even back together yet, but you have made such an impact on this person's life that they genuinely think that you could be the one. Now, the proposal might not necessarily be like a marriage proposal, but a proposal to get back into a relationship and to try it again. And as long as you guys like the communication and the vibe and the like I said, everything goes very slow as far as texting and then talking, and then, hey, do you want to go out for a drink? And then, hey, this person is coming over, bringing you flowers, and then you might sleep together, and then you're thinking to yourself, maybe this could work. Maybe this, not only could it work, but maybe this could be the person. Like there's something about your absence in this person's life that triggered them to acknowledge that they're actually not happy with you not being there, right? And this person does feel guilty about whatever happened in the past in this relationship. They literally didn't mean to hurt you. I don't think they knew that. And like most men, when they fall in love, they literally trip and fall. It was not something they were looking for. It was not something they were planning. It was not something they were expecting. And so this person might have had tendencies, you know, that didn't sit well with you because those tendencies worked on all of the superficial relationships that they had no intention of settling down with. And then you come along and you're different, but they still have those tendencies that they've always, you know, that's just, you know, it's hard to break. It's hard to break habit. That was the person's habit, but you were the catalyst for the change in this person, right? And so that was jarring to them. It caught them off guard. And so they're just in the habit of doing what they've always done. And in the process, they messed up the relationship with you. And it really took that absence for them to realize like, oh no, I might have messed up with the one. So this person is very close. This person, if they do make a proposal to you, this is what I'm predicting. Whether, like I said, depending on the stage of the relationship, it could be a marriage proposal if you guys have already gotten back together after a period of separation and trying again. It might be a marriage proposal, but if you're just in the beginning stages of trying again and, you know, being very tepid about whether to make it official or not, this person's on the verge of asking you to make it official again and really give it a go this time. Really put all of their heart into it and give it an honest try this time. Because this person is, they're thinking about you heavy. They're thinking that you could be the one. And if it does happen, hopefully, and this might just be my thing. This person might make the proposal, might actually make the this is not going to be a marriage proposal. So this is more like a proposal to be back in a relationship or give it another try once they're out and they're drinking. That's, you know, when people get to drinking, they get in their head and they get in their feelings. This person's getting in their feelings while they're drinking and divinely guided wanting to come out. So yeah, this person is being divinely guided. Yeah, and grass is greener. They thought the grass was greener and they're probably hooked up with somebody on social media. Yep. And they want to send you like the messages late night thinking about you. They're going to roll the dice. And it might be, like I said, a wedding proposal. For some of you, it was a lesson learned. And this is the person you're going to have a family with. And regardless of whatever stage it is, the proposal is exactly equivalent to the stage that you're in. But the outcome is the same. So if you're just getting back together, like I said, trying it again, and you both are still very cautious, this person gonna get drunk and they're gonna be like, hey, I think we should really give this a go. And they're gonna really give it a go this time. They're gonna show up this time the way that they should have showed up the first time. But this time they're aware, they learned their lesson. They know that you are different. They thinking you're the one. And so they're gonna show up the right way, but they're gonna make the proposal once they get drunk. If this is you already in a relation, and that is going to turn into a wedding, a marriage, a wedding, and a family. This is the one you're gonna marry. If you are already in a relationship with this person, the proposal is going to be the ring, the actual proposal. And this is the person you're going to have a family with. All right. So I'm predicting somebody here is getting married to somebody they tried to do it in the past. That person wasn't on their A game the first time go around. But when they come back, they're going to be on their A game because they have learned their lesson when it comes to you. And they are really 100% thinking you are the one. But I am predicting you are the one, and this is the one you're going to marry. All right, so real quick list. I'm going, this is a very long reading today. Oh my goodness. And let's get into a quick finance reading. This is going to be a quick finance reading, guys, because, geez. Okay, so these cards, okay, right, you know what? Bam, there it is. I'm going to take the top cards here. Those cards really wanted to turn over. All right, so you have a new opportunity coming into your life, and it's going to be very, very successful. Very successful. I mean, successful. It's not only going to be successful, but it's going to be the thing that you hold on to. Yeah, that's going to bring... Yeah, hold on. I'm sorry. It's bringing abundance. I wanted to say it's bringing abundance into your life, but I stopped myself until I got to the Empress card. So this is going to be a quick finance reading. It's not a lot of hiccups here, and it's not a lot of warning that I have to give you. But there is a particular, so this is for people who are watching this, and if you're watching this, it'll resonate immediately, because there is a very specific opportunity, and it might not have come into your life yet, but it's very specific, but it's the thing that you want. So if like you are looking for, just for example, if you're looking for a job right now, you might put in a bunch of applications for jobs that kind of meet your qualifications, they meet your, your pay, salary requirements, things like that. So you put them in, right? Not particularly inspired by the jobs, but they're jobs, they meet your qualifications in the general job field, salary, blah, 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 blah. But then you see the one job that's like, that is my dream job, that I found that job, and that's the one that I want. And if I don't get it, okay, whatever. I got the other applications floating around somewhere, and that's fine. It'll pay my bills, give me the money that I want. But this is the job that people, when people say, if you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life. That's this opportunity. You put your application or send your resume to that job, and you get that job. And that is the job you want to hold on to. That is the job you want to retire from. That is the job that brings see, the thing about it with the Empress card is people oftentimes either associated with two things: pregnancy, a divine feminine, or financial abundance. But the thing that I think people often miss is the fact that it's the Empress card. People oftentimes, when they talk about the Empress card, talk about it as if she is the end all be all, right? Because she's the divine feminine. But when people specify things in a reading, they compartmentalize the Empress. And the Empress is not meant to be pulled apart and compartmentalized. You can do that with kings and queens, because the kings and queens have very specific strengths. The Empress and Emperor has all the strengths. That's what makes them the whole. They're like the world card, as far as the world card in tarot. They're the world card of the personification of the masculine and the feminine, right? And so what I'm saying here, I say all that to say that the Empress is representing all of it. Like in this card, I think this card is one reason why I love this deck, because it has such a complete spiritual meaning. She is the universe, right? She's not Jupiter, she's not Pluto, she's not Mars, she's not just the sun, she's not just Earth, she's the entire universe, right? And so it does a disservice to her to say that, oh, this card represents pregnancy or growth or only material gain. She's all of it. So when I say that this dream opportunity for you, and it might not be a job, whatever like it might be a car that you see that's like your dream car, and it's like, I was willing to get this car, it's a nice car, but I go in and it's like the one car that they only have that one model, and that's like your dream model that just came from Europe, and you put your money down to get that car or something like that, and you get it. So what I'm saying, this opportunity encompasses all of your dreams, everything, where the other opportunities might have this thing that you like or have that aspect to it that you like. Those are the kings and queens. They have their strengths. Like, I don't really want to do that job, but it's the salary that I'm looking for, so I'll take it. Or I don't really want to do that job, or I don't really like the pay for that job, but the job itself is something that I like. So it's always like compromising here or there in order to get a thing that you need. With the Empress, she doesn't have to compromise. You don't have to compromise when you get the Empress. So when I'm saying this opportunity that's coming into your life is something you don't have to compromise on. It is perfectly made for you. It is everything, it encompasses everything that you want out of an opportunity. And that's what abundance is. That's what she represents. She represents everything. So it's all of it. And that's what I got here for you. I said I was going to be a short financial reading, but it ended up being longer explanation than I intended. But that is it. That is what I have for you all. I really hope that helped. If that reading resonated and it helped you and you enjoyed it, please show the appreciation by hitting the like button, leaving a positive comment, sharing, and don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you next time.